There we go. I think I'll just, for the recording purpose, the whole goal of this training is to say there's a logical way to get to full-time income without making this super complicated. Most of us are used to employee thinking. Our team, more importantly, this is our message for us to teach our team, comes from an employee or self-employed mindset where I'll just kind of say it this way. Everyone needs to learn the certain skills, the 7 skills in network marketing, but also the mindset skills to shift into having leverage and having, things work for you, not just you working on it. So the shift of this is going to be about how do we actually get there? Because we do want to eventually get to big business and investor. However, we all majority start on the left-hand side to get to the next point. So and the purpose of this is for us as leaders to create full-time income, as I mentioned. We all have kind of like a micro scale or like a team, right? We all, whether you have a 5-person team, a 10-person team, a 100-person team, it doesn't really matter. The whole point of it is how do we grow it and continue to grow it and teach other people to do the same thing. We will have some sort of focused and will be required activity and execution, accountability. How you do that, I'm not going to tell you how. I think that's how you want to lead, but I do advise that whatever you do, keep it very simple, keep it very clear, and have measurables, not things that are up for debate. Meaning, when we're talking about real results, like we can actually measure things and actually monitor and adjust certain tactics to grow the result. This way it is based on what we can control and not just like our feelings for the week, if that makes sense, right? This is kind of how like I look at our business, right? Here's the deal. Each one of us is basically, if you think about it, we're all part of Flushadelphia. There's 21 of us on this call right now. We all have some sort of stakeholdership in Flushadelphia, right? Like Flushadelphia as a company, your team may be 20 people, so maybe it's 10%. Great. So it's like, how do we keep growing the organization that you control to help Flushadelphia hit their mission, right? That's kind of how I look at it. And a lot of times people think, oh, we grow a team from like 200 to 300, or we grow a team from 300 to 400. In reality, it's really us getting better at helping somebody grow from 1 to 10. It's not really going from 50 to 100. It's more people that can basically pop up and be coordinators or executive coordinators and host their own 5 to 10 person, I call it pod. So it kind of shifts the framework to be like, okay, I'm just helping people get to that point. And then once they get to that point, if they continue to raise their hand, they eventually can come on a call like this, or they can come onto systems or whatever. And our job is just to create structure and consistency to get there. We drive belief, activity, and results, right? As we know, leadership is about what duplicates. It's not just what we say, right? So these are kind of just like theory, but I think it's important to start with this as we get into like the how-tos. So I don't know if I can highlight. No, I can't. All right, it's all good. So point number 1, we're all in our group chat, right? Like not just in Telegram in terms of chapter, but in terms of our team, right? Every single one of us is the energy hub, and this is really important. As a leader, we are responsible for the energy of our team. Like if we are always hot and cold, what do you think our team is going to be? Hot and cold, right? If you want to type this in the chat, one of the deadly sins in network marketing is inconsistency. So type in inconsistency in the chat. I can't spell it, but I can say it. All right. I studied numbers, guys. So inconsistency, right? You do not want to be inconsistent. And inconsistent doesn't mean you're number one retailer and a number one producer. It means how we show up, right? Like if we show up positive, we show up focused, we show up professional, we show up with belief. Not every day you're going to be perfect, but you give what you can towards the bigger mission. That's what's really important. And the way you show up is in the chat, right? Like ask yourself like a couple things. Am I adding value or am I taking away? am I enhancing the experience for my team or am I keeping it kind of status quo? So there's ways to enhance your chat, meaning the team chats, product usage. Sometimes as we get older in the business, we joke about products and like not eating and stuff. I feel the same way. But the person who started last week has no idea what NAD is, has no idea that it's normal to drink aloe. Not That's not a full bottle of aloe, it's mixed, but drink aloe in the sense of you don't just need to drink it for 2 ounces, right? Or like what cognitive is, or like I love to like talk about stacks. We're pairing Vitamind and whatever. And it's just like you kind of expose products where it's like, hey, if you want to have focus, here's 3 products. And for those that work closely, I talk about this. It's like, hey, if you want to have focus, here are 3 products that are usually slept on. And it's like, boom, here's your focus stack. And it's like people order it. Hey, if you want to make sure that you have like really good energy in the gym, here's astaxanthin and glutacue. People sleep on these products, right? Hey, if you want to have better sleep, yeah, turn down, but also curcumin extreme. Take 2 to 4 before you go to sleep. Hey, you want to have a better cardiovascular system, right? Vivaquin, right? And it's just like you can just do simple things. It literally takes 2 seconds and it enhances immediately to a new person who just started yesterday and say, huh, that looks pretty cool. I want to have more energy, or I want to have more focus, or I would like to have a better sleep quality, or I would like to have more whatever. And is it going to make a retail exactly that day? No, but it will duplicate and it gets on the agenda and people take note and people see that you're adding value. You can add like, oh, here are top. I don't know. I love what like Thomas does for us. He gives a daily audio for the last like 3 years. Like every morning at 8 o'clock, there's an audio posted. And it's just like every day, like literally like clockwork. It's crazy. But the point is, it's like that's just something that's added. You like, what are you doing to enhance the excitement, the hope, the vision, for your team? These are you don't need to do all of this. I'm just giving you ideas to make the experience better. Because remember, 80% of your team at all times is just stable. They're just stable, meaning that like they're waiting for that spark, they're waiting for that hope, they're waiting for that decision. So our job is to create a fertile soil. So whenever they make that decision, they're ready versus we don't make it fun. We don't make it I guess wholesome. So then like we kick people away. You don't want to do that as a leader. You kind of want to say, I hate to say this, but it's like you're kind of like a gym owner. I don't really care if you're a bodybuilder or if you just like to do cardio or you just want to go to yoga once a week. Everyone's welcome in the gym. Like a gym owner would never say, you only do cardio, don't come here. Like you would welcome everybody. So how do you make it so that everyone feels welcome and can actually benefit from the gym? Our job is to make sure the gym is clean, make sure everyone's safe, make sure everything's up to date, make sure everything's running smoothly, make sure there's products there. Our job as a leader is to make things simple for our team to enjoy the process. Okay. So how do we lead with the energy? Well, not only do we lead with like, that's like the intangible side of things. The tangible side of things would be what we do, right? Phase 1. We all know this. This is nothing new, but I will say this in your chat, ask yourself like, how often do you build people up? Like respectively, I don't need to be shouted out in the chat, but I love to shout out the new person and say, hey, shout out to this person for putting together their vision statement. Shout out to this person for locking in their bus and hotel. Shout out to this person for placing their first weekly order, first customer, first whatever. Maybe they made their first call. Maybe they had their first 2-on-1, sold their first ticket, whatever. The question is, how can you make someone's day better that's probably not expecting it in your team? And like I said, these things don't take much energy. It's just an awareness. Hey, this person booked their flight and come into Ocean City. Okay, cool. Rather than think to myself, okay, it's expected, you should do that. How about I'm grateful that they are? And you show that gratitude and you're going to get back more what you give. From a measurable standpoint, for us, we do need to make sure we do 1,000 BV a month. This is really important for two reasons. One, the obvious one, UFO. We know this. The not so obvious one, if you're not at a level where you're doing that consistent, it's very hard to teach how to do it. So I took this personally. This is not coming at, and this is how I talk to myself. I need to make sure I know how to do this and learn it as fast as I can because I need to teach my team they can do it too. Same thing goes for recruiting. Like Mark remembers, I literally like, guys, I sponsored Mark, but I called Mark in 2020 and said, I don't recruit as well as you. Can you teach me? Like straight up. And like since that conversation in 2020, like tripled the recruiting output. And it's just like sometimes you have to like know what your team needs and say, I'm not as effective as I can be because I don't have the skills yet. Keyword yet. So I need to get those skills so that I can then when I recruit someone or when I whatever, I can actually teach them to do it. And this is just like, I'm not saying everyone needs to do this by tomorrow. I'm just saying, like, bigger thinking is like, I want to be effective. So when someone comes in, I can teach it at a simple rate so then they can get the result. And that's me as an effective leader. So I need to actually do the standard so I can teach, right? This is like the baseline. Just as a friendly reminder, 80% of our team is stable. I mentioned this before. So if you want to think about it this way, at any given point in time, at one point I was stable too. You can ask D. I just used the product. I came to HKO. I didn't really bring guests and I was waiting for belief. I was struggling and have, you know what I mean? Like we all go through our own stuff. As a leader, all we can really do is increase product usage so people can have better stories, which is going to yield better belief. If people have better belief, it will create more activity. You guys follow the logic there? Right? So it's like if you have a bunch of stable people on your team, just know it's normal because like 8 out of 10 will always be stable. Instead of saying like, come on, Brett, you know, get, you know, it's like, okay, how can I get Brett a story? How can I get Brett involved? How can I create? It doesn't have to be a crazy testimony, but just something, which then increases my belief that hey, maybe I can do this, or maybe I can sell a product or whatever. And then when belief rises, someone's willingness to take action will always go up. So first way for our notes, guys, increase product usage internally will yield increased sales and product customers. If that's already being done on your team, the second thing you can do is get them involved in your personal activity. Meaning, if Brett is struggling and you have a 2-on-1, pull Brett into your 2-on-1 to have him share his 2-minute commercial. You can still do the 2-on-1, but have Brett share his story. And then when Caleb gets started, you can say, hey, Brett, you did a great job. Thank you so much for sharing your story. It really meant a lot to Caleb. Caleb is now coming to HKO and he bought his ticket to Ocean City. Awesome. Like without you and your story, that may not have happened. See, you can build the business. See, like that's all it takes. That's all you can do. Be a, you know, you can be a connector, right? And you start like, you know what I'm saying? You're feeding me based off of actual things that happened versus just like rah-rah. So now my emotion and my logic and my belief are trending towards maybe I can do this. And then I come to Ocean City and I see someone's speech and I see someone, whatever, you know what I mean? And next thing you know, I make a decision and la da da, I'm on the call. I don't know. So it's just like you're always kind of like working with your team that way. So how do you actually know where your teammates are? Number two, the person who spends the most time with their team will always win. And I don't mean win as in like we're in competition. That's not what I'm saying. What I mean by win is you'll be an effective coach with your people. Because you drop it in the chat, like you can just say yes, but you ever spend a lot of time with someone and then at a certain point you start to like finish their sentence or you start sounding like them or you know if something's off and they don't have to say anything? Have you ever experienced this? Drop it in the chat. Yes, 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 yes. Have you ever not spent, you don't have to put this in the chat, but think to yourself, that's the positive side. Have you ever not spent time with people and then felt lost on how to actually help them? I'm just gonna be honest. I have. And I'm like, I know the standard answer, but I don't know what's important to them. So I kind of felt like a little incongruent. Usually it's because I wasn't in person with them or I wasn't a lot, I really wasn't like in touch with them if I'm being truthful. So proximity for your notes, proximity will build belief. Lauren did a great segment on this. Distance creates distortion. So like the further you are from your team, to be honest, like reality gets bent. But when you're in person, you can understand your people. And the funny thing is, we all have different strengths and we all have different weaknesses, and we all kind of respond a little differently to certain things. So you can put people in position to win. And if you understand your people, you know how to help them grow. So um, I'm not going to have you put it in your chat, but I want you to reflect on for your notes. How many days a week are you with your team in person? And I don't mean Sunday and I don't mean Wednesday because that's kind of built for you. I'm talking about what do you do with your team in person, not built around the Philadelphia system. So take a second and reflect on it. Like if you had to go look over the last 4 weeks, how many nights a week are you with your team? And it doesn't need to be like a HKO style. It could just be like, I don't know, you did a home event or you did a 2-on-1 or you did a consult with a couple partners, you did a follow-up, you met with someone at their house, you did a call workshop. If you feel comfortable sharing it in the chat, go ahead. Like I think it would be kind of cool because I did this the last 4 weeks because I wanted to really be honest with myself. But
Share.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Bryce coming to every Thursday and to Newark to the office, and that's how everything's happening. Like all the team is together, new partners, we are plugging everybody together. They are in the office like every single day. I'm talking to them, like, and we have a day and the time so everybody can come together. So yeah, thank you to you, Brad. It was not gonna be possible if it was not you.
It's your office and your people, so I just show up. So, no, but thanks for saying that out loud. I mean, but in honesty, guys, like just take an honest assessment, and wherever you're at, I challenge you to add one more day over the next 4 weeks. To tell someone to go from one day a week to 5 days a week, you're going to go nuts. But I think you can add one day and build the muscle and slowly get to 2, 3, not including Sunday and not including Wednesday. And yeah, in person, you will build a community. It's just like what we did with the Clarion, where everyone knew you do 2-on-1s, you do HKO at the Clarion Tuesday at 7:30. And it's just like we need to build the regiment of like Wednesday night, 7:30 is at the church in, I don't know, Mother Rose. I don't know the exact address. I apologize. But that
That's
location,
in Clifton Heights.
there you go. That one. So, so we have that one. Everyone that's in that hour radius, go there, right? It's just we bring people Wednesday night here. Wednesday night in Spring Lake, we bring it to Mike's house. Thursday night, we bring it to Eduardo's house. And AC in out in Hawaii. I don't know which island it is on. I'm sorry, guys, but in New York, it's like y'all know what I'm trying to say. It's like your team has to have the mantra is like we build names lists, we build 2-on-1s, we bring to said event. At said event, we launch people and we sell tickets. Like it's like boom, boom, boom. That's it. And it's just like that will kind of like really start. It's super simple. Anybody could do it. Like Caleb, you said the woman didn't even have a call workshop yet and booked the 2-on-1. It's like because it's in the rhythm of what you guys are doing. And it's just like then that people get sucked up into that activity. it's just a lot easier. And I found, I could be wrong. My personal experience with Zoom is it's easier to get people started. It's harder to keep people around. So because of all the intangibles of when people are under the same roof. So here's kind of like a summary. Every person on your team will be a little different. At some point, a conversation will need one of these three things. Some of your partners will need a why session or a vision statement. Mark did a great job for us on Sunday. Some partners will need more belief, confidence. Some people have a vision and belief, but they have zero skill. So they just need to be honest, given like a 3-step system they can follow. 1, 2, 3. That's it. And it's just like at any given point in time, your team needs one of these three things. Right? So our role, we build them up using past wins. We show them a better future, meaning, hey, if you execute this, you'll have a better future. And then we guide them through the growth with the principle of our team is our number one asset, meaning we build people, people build the network. So drop a 1 in the chat if this is making sense so far. We're all good. Nothing crazy. Cool. 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 So that was all like the intangible side of things, kind of like the skills of like leaders. Like I'll go back. Oops. Right. So I just you can probably summarize the vision, belief, skill. Like there's another way you can do it with like income. There's like certain ways that people are kind of like challenged on, but those three things are pretty consistent. So point number 3, like our job is just to drive appointments, guys. Like fundamentally, like this drives all business. If there's conversations happening and there's appointments being booked, your business will always be open. The minute our conversations stop and we have appointments that are not being booked, you get into your head. And when you're in your head, you're dead. So you want to be in activity, you want to be in motion. So just fundamentally know the more appointments you have, you will have obviously the more exposures. With more exposures, results go up. One thing I've noticed is when people get excited, and you guys can, I know we all can relate to this, partners get excited and they try to do like a million different things at once. So they're just like, oh, I want to do a booth. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do 3-foot roll. I want to do sampling. I just let people and remind people that all we do is funnel everything from top of funnel down. Some people will tell you like, I guess drop a 1 in the chat if like you've ever heard this. People will be like, I just want to retail, or I just want to focus on the business. I just want to build people. I just want to build a team. I don't want to retail. Or some people say, I just want to retail, but I don't want to really recruit. Anyone ever, am I the only one that's people said that to? Drop a 1 in the chat if you've gotten that before. Okay. I just want to read. Okay. Cool. Sweet. If done properly, like retail and build a business is the same thing. You see, like our partners, what they really are saying is, I want to retail because I feel uncomfortable, or I don't have belief, or I don't think this is, they haven't made that decision yet. And that's okay. You don't tell them that. You just know this. So it's like, okay, but if you are in a home and you're showing the plan, it's like you're going to need samples. You're going to need to give away free product. You're going to have to like build a regiment. You're going to, what I'm talking about? So like the irony is the more appointments I do, the more product I actually need. Because for people who don't even want to see the plan, for example, like we did a meeting the other day, and the woman was like, I don't really know about the business, but I really liked what you said about isotonics because I have diabetes. Can I come and meet you guys and do demos? So like tomorrow or Thursday, we're doing demos in person with a woman we showed the plan to go sell products. And then it's like, okay, we're gonna move a diabetes thing, whatever she buys. It helps her. She gets a result. And okay, just because she's not in the business yet, why would you stop the process that I just walked you through? Get them on product, build belief, get a story. When belief goes up, what happens? Activity goes up. Then it's a lot easier to say, hey, you can actually help more people. And then the business side comes in. So it's just like you show the plan. Retail to me is like you take one step back to then move forward to where you were going to go anyway. So it's like that to me is why it's like if you just set appointments, you're going to sell both product and business at any given time. And it's just like just remind the teammates that like we're not here to say you need the business or you need the product. I just present the information, and wherever you come out of the bottom of the funnel, you come out of the bottom of the funnel. Some are going to be retailers. Some are going to be, they want to recruit. Some people are, excuse me, some people are going to be customers. Some people are going to be the team, and some people are just going to be neither, and that's okay. But if you fill the funnel with appointments, it's funny, everything goes up. Like you don't have to trust me, I don't know. It's just book appointments, everything else follows, I promise you. How we drive appointments, though, just keep it simple, right? This is like the mantra, like 1, 2, 3. It's like build names list, stay in the warm list. And our goal as leaders is get someone their first 10 recruits. And you're like, 10? I'm just trying to get someone activated. Okay. Trust me, get them to 10. You want a team in momentum, you want to have a couple super recruiters for the year. Okay. Easiest way to do that, you build a names list, help them stay in their warm market so you can go home to home to home to eventually HKO to, Wednesday to Wednesday to Wednesday. People they know, referrals, second and third connections, and then very simply, you don't tell them 10 recruits. Like, but roughly you get 10 people started. Most people are going to be making, I put 10 our coordinator EC 1099 because that's really what you're focused on. Like someone actually making a consistent 1 to 2 to 3 checks a month with double pay. That's really what you want. You want someone to actually start tasting it. So then they're now making, 10,000 a year, 5,000 a year. And it's like, okay, if I pour a little bit more gas on this thing, I can see how this can become real. Like really. So our job is just keep the names list moving and get them to that result. So if you don't have one already, you're going to need a weekly meeting tracker. You'll need something to track it, meaning just knowing where the appointments are. If you have, because here's how it happens, guys. And I'm talking to everyone like they're building like a fresh team of 10. You may be able to keep like one person or two people's appointments in your head, but eventually, two things are going to happen. You're going to have too many partners with too many meetings, and things are going to fall through the cracks. That's number one, because we're all human. Number two is you're going to want to, as your up and coming people are starting to get involved, you're going to want them to see the meetings that are happening so then they can be involved as well. You remember how I said like Brett was stable, he was not having a lot of belief, but you brought me into your meeting, you helped me share my story, and then I kind of built belief. If your team knows where meetings are happening, they can plug in and you can invite them in to build their belief. Like if I showed Drayton's plan, or like actually this is literally what happened. I brought Drayton all my people until I hit like, I don't remember, it was like coordinator, EC, I forget. But I know right after I sponsored a certain amount, he was like, okay, you got to do it. He's like, we kind of have to like multiply here and not just be dependent on me. And I was like, okay. And then I was like bringing other people into those calls, and it just really fast tracked the team rather than everything just being on Drayton. So when people can kind of see it, their activity goes up and their involvement does go up. Just please don't overcomplicate this. I think I said this multiple times, but there's a reason for it. Like the way I'm speaking is the way I like teach it. It's like, this is very simple. All we need to do is I just want you to be a connector, use the edification triangle, I just want you to book a few appointments. I'll do it with you. I never talk at people and say, Caleb, this is what you need to do because this is your business. No, I say, we're gonna build this together. I'll do it with you. Let's book appointments together. Hence why I need to be good with my phase one. I need to be good with my own numbers, and I need to also model it. And we were very good with this when we were at Drexel and St. Joe's and all these places because we were doing call workshops with our team. We weren't just telling them to do it. And it keeps us on our toes. It keeps us sharp. But also when people see us doing it, also when people see us get rejected, it's actually good because then they see us as human rather than just someone who always can sponsor someone anytime. So it's good for people to see us kind of go through the same stuff because then they say, oh, it's normal, rather than thinking they're the problem. So it's just hopefully this is helping. So now as you book appointments, like I said, I like to keep things in like twos and threes. Just like I learned this from Mark. Like actually, the way he thinks is like 1, 2, 3, Brett. 1, 2, 3. I was like, okay, I think I can do that. So here's the big three. So number one, like events, like everything funnels towards Ocean City for now. Right now, all conversation is Ocean City, Ocean City, Ocean City. Every 2-on-1, every home event, every HQ, OC, 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 and your team is literally just like repetitively saying it. As when the next event comes up, that's the next ticket that we just become like crazy promoters for. That's really it. And it's just you just keep moving it into eventually NC, and then you just keep moving. So every conversation is going into the bullseye, right? 2-on-1, HKO, ticket. That's it, right? By the way, guys, if we really buy into this and really recreate this, buying 4 tickets for local is going to become a necessity rather than like you have to do it. Because if you're setting up meetings, you're going to sell tickets. And I really do believe that like because everything was on Zoom for a little bit, people stopped buying 4, 5, 6, 7 tickets because not because they don't believe, but they didn't believe they were going to sell the ticket. So this is going to increase the tickets that we can buy, which is also going to increase like the availability of like certain venues that we can start to book. You know, like there's all these things that we can do, which is exciting. Just know that this will feed everything and your team will get better experiences. So more tickets, more meetings, right? Pretty simple. And when you set up these meetings, honestly, the funnel, actually, I'm doing it the wrong way. The funnel comes down to like 3 things. All that really matters is once you track all your meetings and like you just want to grow that each week, all you really care about at the end of the day, outside of who's coming to the event, because that's number one, are these 3 things. Personal recruits, right? Because I mentioned our personal phase one. Are we doing our 2 a quarter? How many new people are hitting coordinator? And then the new UFOs, they're pretty much the same. That's it. Because if we have our personal recruits go up, we have our event attendance go up, and the coordinators and UFOs follow, you're going to have a consistent, duplicatable system, people making money, people going to the event. It kind of just all flows. So how it all connects, right? Just for summary, activity to appointments to events will build belief, which would lead to growth. I just want everyone to be very conscious. This is the second thing I mentioned, like the in person. The second thing, and we're coming in for a landing, guys. But the second thing, just be very conscious of like the B1 culture in your team. Like be very conscious of like, okay, how are like the personal development books coming? Like, are people reading team building books? Are people reading communication books? Are people reading like self-sabotage books to get out of their own way? Are they reading like how to communicate? Like, there's all these things. You don't want to dump it all on one person at once, of course, but just be aware, like, is that culture there and how can I strengthen it? Right? Like, how can I like make audios like in the car cool again? You know what I mean? Like, how can I make it so then like people listen to audios and books and when they're driving and not music, and like the little things where this may seem like second nature to us, but are new people that really is important. And I'll use the baby example for the last point on this slide, but um, as we start with new people, I'll use the baby. If you're a parent and you have a child, um, no matter how good of a parent we are, most babies are not going to walk until like what, 9 months, 10 months, something like that, 7, 8 months, depending in that range, right? I can become the best parent in the world and I can do everything right. Chances are pretty high that my baby's not going to walk after 3 months. You guys follow? So, like, there is a learning curve that you're just going to have to suck it up with people. So, just expect people to like mess up. It's okay, it's normal when you go through this. But all I'm trying to say is that, like, if it's supposed to take 6 months in terms of like the growth for somebody, it's going to take 6 months. But you can get them stronger by B1. You can get them stronger by plugging into the team. You can get them stronger by making sure they plug into events. You can get them stronger by being in ABC training. You can get them stronger by, plugging and going to ticketed events. Like, you can get them stronger by bringing them into home events. Like, you can do all these like cheat codes that you're kind of strengthening them up because they're in the environment. But just be aware that people are going to mess up. That's okay. Our job as leaders is to kind of make sure they kind of keep trying to stand up until they eventually can walk without us. So coming in for close, guys, as leaders on this call, I would suggest to ask these questions to ourselves. This is not for, you don't need to post this or whatever, but just take it like a decision each week and say, okay, did I bring the right energy this week? Right? We talked about the chat. We talked about in person. We talked about did I bring the right energy? Did I kind of like fade and not really do like rank myself 1 through 10? How can I get it one notch higher this week? Right? Nothing crazy. Number 2, how much time did I spend with my people in person? Rank yourself. If you had to rate yourself 1 through 10, if you're a 6, how do you get to a 7? Not asking anyone to be a superstar, just one notch higher for the week, right? Did we drive appointments effectively, right? Did we help them create a names list and book appointments for a team goal? If it rank yourself 1 through 10, yeah, sure, great. How can you do a little bit more this week? And did everything point to Ocean City, or was it like pointing in 10 different directions? Right? Rate yourself 1 through 10. Okay. Did everything point to Ocean City? Did I get my bus and hotel in for the team? Yes, no. Like, just be aware for like how to get better. This is not like beat yourself up time. Like, that is not the message. It is just, how do I continue to improve? Because I understand success is not a destination, but it is enjoying the process. I forget the exact quote from the audio, Mark, you posted, or whoever posted it, but it was like, I don't know. It was the becoming process, not the destination. It's from the guy talking about making 6 figures this year. Anyway, if you know what I'm talking about, drop it in the chat. But here's the call to action. Just outside of what we spoke about, like, just keep it super simple, like host a call workshop outside, track the results. Right? How were you able to coach? Are there ways where you can improve? Like, is there a sticking point here? If so, ask for help. That's fine. What are the areas that you can get better in, just in that call workshop environment? And then the other thing I would suggest is, like, do you have a 2.5 week goal to Ocean City? Right? If your goal is to have 10 people and you have, like, let's say 5, you need to know how many appointments you got to book to get 5 more people there, right? So you just need to be able to know that target, and if you need help setting it, just ask someone on this call that can help you. And then once that's set up, it's just a matter of doing it with everything we spoke about today. So guys, I know it's pretty short training, nothing crazy, but the message is simple. It's just control your energy, right? Let's stay close to our team. Let's drive appointments. And just remember, we drive appointments, we drive belief. We are the hope dealers for our organization. And if we do that, everything points towards the tickets. We're good. We're good. Um, just keep things super simple, and like I think we'll be okay. So hopefully that helped. Like I said, and it's not a very long training, but I do believe that we execute it properly, we'll be in a very good spot by the end of the year. You should be able to build your business to 6,000 a month pretty simply if you do that, because you can duplicate this 6.5 months. It can build quite fast. So, any questions, or pretty simple, straightforward? Good, cool. All right, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening. Let's crush the week. We have 2.5 weeks to Ocean City, and if you need anything, just reach out. I'm happy to help.
Thank you, Brett.
Thank you, bro.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.